I mean, this is not a movie, it's not a Netflix special. He's obviously not going to say he loves me back.
This is so embarrassing.
I was pretty serious about this girl and I had this constant voice that, hey, you know what? You have to know what it's like to date a guy. This is before Grindr and smartphones and everything. I started talking with this boy over Planet Romeo and I thought he was absolutely beautiful. We decided to meet up and I was like, this is it. I have to date this boy. We became great friends. He would come over all the time. He would stay at my place a couple of times and I remember when he would go Shah, he would sing. He was a beautiful singer. I remember just sending him, hey, I'd love for us to be a thing.
We met because we both had a common friend and she introduced us to each other. There was this palpable tension between us always, but there was also like this strange and easy sense of familiarity that we shared. When classes would get over, I never went home from college directly because we were always up to something. We called it masti, but I think we just wanted an excuse to be around each other. Before I could realize fully that I had a crush on them, I already had a crush on them. I remember working up the courage to admit to them that I had feelings for them. Tender feelings, fiery feelings, friendly feelings, but all like wrapped up into this one big ball of mushy feelings. Meri fati padi thi yaar, but I couldn't stay quiet any longer, so I told them.
So when I was in 8th standard, I was in the CBSE school and there was this guy who basically was the 4th topper in class and I was better than him in academics. It just so happened that roll number 14 was sitting next to roll number 35 and he's roll number 14's type. So that's when we actually started talking and in my head, things started escalating. And even at that time, I was like, no, Madhu, don't think stuff like that. That's weird. And I think we spent 10 months having staring contests and I won those. That's when I knew competition was a way to get another person's attention. Before our final exams, I was like, okay, I'm going to tell him. And one day I logged in and I type out this email talking about all my feelings for him. This is so embarrassing because I said, I don't want to be distracted from my academics and I think it's best I get this out of the way. The best part is actually that I ended the email with thanking you, regards MADHUMITA.
So basically the story starts in like 2016. I went on this date with this boy, okay? And unlike conventional dates, it was just like fireworks right after we met. Like the next morning when I woke up, I was surprisingly very sure that I wanted to see him. So I decided to meet him on day 3 of knowing him for the second time. And now I've also been invited to go to a friend's Christmas party. Now I'm going to give you a rule, never ever go out on a date when there's happy hours. So after like some 8 rum and cokes, I'm like, oh listen, do you know that I have this Christmas party I want to go to? Would you like to come with me? And surprisingly he says yes, because alcohol. And then we pay the bill and then we get in the cab. And I'm like, sitting in the car, drunk out my wits. And I turn to this boy and I'm like, I think I'm in love with you.
He was just like, nope, not having it. It was a very tough time for me. I was 120 kilos back then. I just started doing this, oh, maybe he's not into me because I'm this overweight. Maybe he's not into me because I'm like this. So I walked off all my weight. That was my first tryst with realizing that, oh, I have to physically change if I want something to work. And that is such an unhealthy thought in itself. You know what I mean?
He would have said, thank you, or he would have said, yeah, but like, you know, this is too soon. Or he could have said, maybe we should try being friends first. He told the cab driver to stop the car and he got off the cab.
In Standard 8 Division C, this is what I hear from a 13-year-old guy. I've done some dark things in my past and I don't want to hurt you, which is why it's best we stay away from each other.
They said, oh shit, and then they started laughing. I felt like all the burden that was on my shoulders was lifted instantly. And it feels great, no, to like know that the person that you're into is also into you.
It's like a cycle, right? You find someone, you find them attractive, you end up spending all your time thinking about them and you know.
They might or might not reciprocate, but if they do, that's great. If they don't,
then it's good for you because then you won't spend like hours and hours and hours and hours like trying to figure out whether they like you or not.
When you again spend time focusing on yourself and bettering yourself.
I definitely got aware of how much I'm capable of loving another boy, and then I got real with myself, and in retrospect I just feel like even the rejection was important for me to be where I am today.